Just saying that was a really good point. Yeah.
Oh, you don't. Yeah, you're trying to do the. It just makes me more comfortable, Justin. All right, you don't need to make fun of it.
I just thought it was funny.
You don't need to make fun of it.
Yesterday on the Brando show, Dave was talking about how he likes to start the producer shows. It feels more comfortable when he pretends like he's mid-sentence.
Well, first of all, it's not really pretending. When I did do it, it would just start a conversation. Like, it was random, but I wasn't pretending about anything.
Yes, but we were never in the middle. Like, the beginning of the show is like, okay, let me click go live. We'll be live in 5, 4, 3. We're live. And then
but why can't I just start a random conversation versus having to be like, oh, it is.
It was just funny the way you described it. You're like,
host the fucking show, Justin. You do the show then. I literally said last night, if you listen to the show, you're picking apart that part.
No.
There was a portion where I said Justin can host the show.
I'm not picking apart it. I just think it was funny. Okay. That's how I wanted to start the show.
So if I could have gotten my way, this is how I would have started the show. I would have said, Justin, you've been playing the same song in this studio on a loop the last couple days.
Yes.
And I don't know why, it just made me remember. I had a song in my fucking head for like 2 weeks that I couldn't figure out what the song was. Have you ever had that?
Yes.
And I found it, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and I finally figured out what song it was. And it was one of the most gratifying feelings I've ever had, finally figuring out what was in my head. Have you ever had one of those moments where
you
can't,
yes,
whether it be a movie you wanted to watch or whatever, and I finally found it. And you're probably asking yourself, what was that song, Dave? I bet you're asking it.
I'm asking it.
It's so fucking random and completely unnecessary. I don't know if it's embarrassing or not, but it's Only You by Yazoo. Have you ever heard this song?
Only You by Yazoo.
Only You. Yeah, it's hard to do. But I had the song version, like the noises in my head. And I even said to my wife, I'm like, it's a song that in movies, it would be kind of like your girlfriend or boyfriend went off to college and you're sad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was trying to describe it to people and I couldn't fucking get it. And I finally fucking got it.
Where was it in a movie? Was it?
Can you look it up? I'm sure it's in, I said to my wife, I think it's in, I don't know. It's got to be in 5 movies that I've seen. I don't know. Maybe people in the chat know the song that I'm talking about.
Wazoo?
Yazoo. Like instead of Yahoo, Yazoo.
Only You, the Yazoo song, is a synth pop duo Yazoo.
Yeah. The only reason I found it, by the way, this is just the world works in mysterious ways, doesn't it, Justin?
It does.
Is Lady Gaga just put out a new album. My wife was playing it in the car the other day, and the song, the beat sounded exactly like it. So I thought to myself, Lady Gaga stole these motherfuckers, like, sample. She stole it or she paid to use it or whatever. I go on and I search on Google, did Lady Gaga, like, what's the song that Lady Gaga stole? And I typed her song. And on Reddit, they literally reference this song, and whammo, I got my song. I've listened to it twice, and I was happy when I did it the first time.
The song features in the films Can't Hardly Wait and The Chocolate War.
That makes sense. And
the closing scenes of the final episode of The British Office.
But there's got to be more. It's just like, is that
closing
like
scenes of The Americans.
Americans is a great show.
Lucifer.
I think, who just mentioned The Americans on content? Was it Jeff? Somewhere? Americans is a great show. Great show.
The Americans, Fringe.
Is this a user generated? Like people are putting in that they've heard that this song was placed on those shows? Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm just on Wikipedia.
No, I know, but yeah, so that's user generated.
Oh,
right?
Did you watch The Penguin maybe?
I didn't, but I do want to see The Penguin.
Oh.
Yeah, I do want to see The Penguin. But no, this song is in a shitload of movies. It has to be in a shitload of movies. Mostly rom-coms or whatever.
Or The Penguin.
That's how I would have started the producer show, but people have shamed me to say April 4th, 2025. It is a Friday. First and foremost, the weather is fucking perfect this morning.
It is nice out.
60 degrees. There was no wind this morning. Walking to get a coffee at Dunks down the street. Perfection. But we'll get into topics. You referenced Brando. What's your takeaways? I was on it, so I don't know how much I can give you off Brando's show last night.
It was good. Brando does a good job. I like his ratings. I do agree with you. At one point, I think he rated the Monday producer show. What do you give it? Like an 80, a B minus,
a 17-minute show.
And you were like, and then he said at one point, he's like, yeah, well, I just appreciate the effort, and I don't think he's like, I'll never rate anything less than a B minus. Yeah. And I was like, oh, so he actually hated it, but because of his,
he just didn't want to say, yeah.
But if he could go lower, he would, and then I think he eventually lowered.
But I thought that was an honest response.
Yes.
If you're expecting you and I, who aren't comfortable doing this, to stretch out the conversation about, I don't know, Steve Snell's tweet yesterday for longer than 45 seconds, you're fucking dreaming. We're not Colin Coward over here.
Well, not that we're not comfortable. We're just not good at it.
Oh, we suck. Sure. But like, even just like, you can't fake stretch that out, unfortunately.
Yes.
So we probably in that 17 minutes, I don't know, what do you want to say, like 7 topics or whatever? That's like phenomenal for you and I.
Yeah.
It's like, it probably is unbelievable. So can you put the chat where it's like on the other one where I can read it potentially? I think, yeah, that one's way bigger. I can read that one. That one's way bigger. So, all right, yeah. But I don't know. Brando's such a nice guy. I like shooting the shit with Brando. I hope he doesn't go away. If he likes talking to people and doing the Brando show, do the Brando show. If you like don't want to interact with Menners anymore, just don't interact with Menners.
I did kind of like his answer to, you know, how people have been giving him shit for like liking the views. He says he's a very competitive person. Everything he takes very competitive. So I guess that's not. I mean, if his worst quality is he cares too much.
Yep,
that's really bad quality.
That's in a song, right? My only bad quality is I care too much. What song is that? Now we're talking music. I care too. It's Papa Roach, isn't it?
I think it's Papa Roach. I only know Last Resort.
My weakness is that I care too much. That should be a dozen question right there. You don't know that song? And my song reminds me. You know this song. Don't be. Yeah, if you know Last Resort, you know this song. Whatever. It's not. But yes, Brando. Did you like my explanation to him? The guidance I was providing to him, or was that annoying? It was probably annoying, but
yeah, no, it was good.
Yeah.
It's Scars by Papa Roach.
Scars by Papa. So I was right.
You were right.
Yeah, Papa Roach. Okay. Besides that, I don't think besides his war with Menners, nothing crazy came out of it. We just recapped producer shows. And then, of course, the return of Kirk Minahan last show, which was a producer show.
Yeah.
Call what you want.
It was definitely not a Kirk Minahan show.
I saw people on other programs call it the Kirk Minahan show. No, I believe it was the producer show.
Well,
it just was. That's just the fact.
It was like the episode, you're not going to get this. It was like the episode of Boba Fett. Where Boba Fett is in it for the first 30 seconds.
Okay.
And the last 30 seconds. And in between, it's all Mandalorian.
Yep.
And it's just a Mandalorian episode. There's Mandalorian music in it. And it's like, well, technically, it's not an episode of Mandalorian. But
right. Got it.
It's an episode of the Mandalorian.
Yes, I think everybody understands the references just made to compare that. But yes, you're right. Like at the end of the day, it was a Kirk Minahan show. He came in. We expected, I don't think I said this on the Brando show, we expected him to be here, to show up for the Mutt appearance. We didn't know in what form. You know, like we both thought, because we got a text, so we both thought he would show up.
We thought there was a possibility. Yes.
Very likely possibility.
Yes.
Let's be fair. Thought he would show up. I said on Brando show, never thought he would just full-fledged do a show. I thought in that situation, he would come in, he would talk about the 2 things that he wanted to talk about. If we're going to, we'll talk about that more in detail here, but he'll talk about those things and then, he'll go his merry way or whatever. And maybe we'd continue with Mutt after, or maybe not, I don't know. But instead you literally got the full gamut. Those are all things that would have happened on a traditional Kirk Minahan show. You got the idea that he comes in during the break and even calls Dan Shaughnessy. That's one. And then he's going through the topics like Val Kilmer. It's like I said last night, one of one. It just does not happen anywhere else.
And also, we haven't really seen, like, we had the one episode of Kirk and Mutt when they came back from Laconia, but this was also like the first time it's been Mutt and Kirk solo in what, 5 months now?
Right. It was also probably
since November.
The way it played out was probably even more of an indictment on us, because he was probably like, no, I can't show up on the producer show and be asked questions by these two in that format. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it sucked so much the last time he came on, in his perspective on the producer show, that he was like, no, I just got to take it over and do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess. Yeah. I mean, if he wants to come on here and then us host the show, it just would seem unnatural.
And that literally
wouldn't work.
We did it. And
it was terrible.
Yeah, it had to be uncomfortable. So yeah, he was in the other day. We talked. We can go over that if you'd like, or if you want to put comments in the chat, we'll read them. I saw some on Twitter. I think it was Mama K was not overly critical of Justin after that, but he came in. We'll deal with a situation with me. He aired out a grievance with me that I responded to somebody on Twitter from the Case account, just kind of what's going on, and I said in production. I told Brando last night, I don't even know what the fuck in production means. I don't know why I said that. I sound like an asshole saying that. So even if he was just mad about that wording, I would be like, you're right. But that's his product. It's his name. For me to assume that I should be able to kind of like influence somebody's opinion of what's happening on somebody else's product, that's, irrational to me. So I totally got where he was coming from. Your situation, you and I have even talked about it off air. We just have a differing viewpoint of how it played out.
Yeah,
I don't not believe you, by the way, of how you believe it played out. I just don't see it the same way. It's not,
yeah, I think it's a misunderstanding, and like I said on the show, I do apologize if it comes off that I mean I love this job, I love this show, I'll put the show first for anything.
Yep.
And I apologize if it wasn't coming off that way. So that's pretty much just what I wanted to get across.
Yeah.
There.
To recap, it's basically that Kirk and I are doing a case trip. Asked Justin if he wanted to, well, it didn't play out like just like asking him if he wanted to come, but we basically asked Kirk, hey, does it make sense to have another body there with us? Kirk said, that's where I thought this thing started. Just plain and simple. Does it make sense to have another body there with us? Yep. Kirk looks over, you come over, you say, I'm willing to go. And then
I said, I'll go.
And then Kirk brings up but you have this. And then you bring up kind of like but it's okay anyway, because you don't really need me conversation. Yes. So that's where the whole kind of confusion comes out of the situation.
So like I said on the show, I apologize. I love the show. Love Kirk. I'd do anything for the show.
Yep.
So that's what I have to say about that.
Yep. Gotcha. So yeah, that's pretty. I mean, it came up on the show. We handled it. It was almost the entirety of that program. So I don't think we need to rehash too much more of that. But if you have any comments or anything you want us to address in the chat, we'll get to it at some point here. I do see in the chat from, I think it's Bobby Costa, our friend Bobby Costa, Turtle Boy going at Barstool. I just saw that. We can we can kind of talk about that with unnamed to an extent. It came up, Rico was obviously doing his trip to San Antonio for the Final Four.
Yep.
Alex Stein, that guy that I guess he's conservative.
He's just a conservative. Right? I would just describe him as a conservative troll. Like he's not necessarily
troll / like he is a comedian, right? Like he's attempting to be a conservative comedian.
Through trolling.
Sure.
Like he goes to I'm not saying this is a good thing or a bad thing, but he goes to like town hall meetings, and his thing is like he goes in and pretends to be like a super leftist with 20,000 pronouns and cry.
Right.
Like he takes a different approach than like Charlie Kirk or Ben Shapiro, who tries to like debate people. He's not really looking to debate. He's looking to poke fun at.
And because I don't really care about the issues that he's poking fun at, I kind of just think he's a douche. Just because I don't I don't care about that. But let's just say his niche was doing that, but he's going up to like Boston sports media who are like sissies, and you know what I'm saying? Like going to all these events and poking fun at them. I'd probably love a guy like that. So it's just a situation where with him specifically, he just kind of sucks because we don't care about his content. But what happened was he ambushed Rico Bosco while he was on his bus trip. He's at a certain stop. And if you don't like him and he's come into Barstool before and caused, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a disruption in a way.
Yeah. Well, he stormed the office and brought in a homeless man.
Right. Brings in a home. It's just kind of a nuisance. And so I don't really mind, especially if you don't agree with it, not agree with him, but just don't like him. I don't mind Rico Bosco being like, get the fuck away from me.
No, I don't mind that at all. I think it's the right thing to do. I mean, the last thing he wants to do is to be seen like taking a picture with him, and then Dave sees it and he's like, Rico, it would be like if Shirley Lee Young or came up to us and was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, well, what are we supposed to do in that situation?
Right. And the question
and like Rico wasn't prepared for it. So he got security. And then so the question Bobby Costa brought up, that Turtle Boy going at Barstool, he pretty much called them a bunch of pussies for getting like security involved.
Yes.
But
what else can you do? Like, I don't know from Rico's perspective, if you're not prepared for it, which obviously he wasn't, there's no way to expect that like a conservative troll is going to come out of nowhere and stalk the shit out of you. How do you disarm that without just being like, without calling for help? Yeah.
So, I mean, I think he did a decent job of it. I mean, I don't think he was going to sit down and I think he wanted him to like call Dave for forgiveness. Yeah. Like, he's not going to do that.
No.
So I think he didn't like play along either, which is fine. That's not really his spot.
Yeah. I think, maybe if you just go at him and you're like, I think you suck. Like you suck shit and I don't want to be around you. Can you disarm him in a way where you don't have to call security? I don't know the full context. I don't know. I watched the clip. I don't know. I can't remember if some of it was edited to like jump cuts of different scenes or however he did it, but it's not a big deal either way. If you don't like the guy and you just want someone away from you, I don't look at it the way Turtle Boy looks at it. He was just trying to disarm the situation, and that's the approach he took. I don't think in any way like Rico Bosco wants Alex Stein charged with anything. No, he just wanted him away from him.
To get the fuck away. Like, that's he wasn't, and also like Alex Stein wanted Rico to blow up. He wanted Rico to freak the fuck out, have a Rico Bosco moment.
And in fairness, I wouldn't blame him. But I also wouldn't blame him if he did.
Oh yeah, being on a
went
bus
on long enough.
Being on the bus the past day and a half, or however long he was at that point.
That's a freaking trip of a lifetime.
I know, but like a normal person,
yes.
I could see, having a bad day and blowing up in that moment.
Yeah.
So good on Rico for keeping a little head.
Right. I see no issues with that whatsoever.
Yeah.
No issues.
Bobby Costa said that's a rabid dog showing some real maturity.
Yeah, I agree. Right there. All right, let's go. Let's backtrack for 1 second and go back to the episode with Kirk of the Producer Show. Mutt was in, and he basically confirmed that he's going to stick with the shaved head.
Yes.
Not fully bald, the shaved look where
Yep.
I think that's the right approach.
A zero on on the razor.
Right approach.
I also agreed with you also saying this on Brando show. Like, don't go with the Mr. Clean look. Like, nope. he doesn't need a shiny head.
Nope.
Like some people can pull that off. I don't think Mutt, because he's so hairy.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
so hairy.
Doesn't look great with just a cue ball.
Yep.
But he's still going to go see Ann, his hairstylist.
Which I don't know if we said this when we were with him. If Ann's only going to charge $10 to $15 per cut, to me, she's been loyal to you throughout. You have a long-term relationship with Ann. You keep going to Ann.
Yeah,
you don't take the easy way out for the money. That's kind of your sign of respect of the friendship and all that stuff for taking care of you. If it's that cheap. If Ann's going to charge like a regular haircut for it, if we're talking $40 a pop every time, then we got to then maybe you have to make a different decision, but he's not there.
Possibly, yeah. And if he's just going to go see her like once every 3 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
$10, $5 tip,
yeah.
$15.
And nothing worse. And I know he said his wife likes it now. She's going to get very annoyed, once every 3 weeks shaving his head or cleaning,
maybe,
cleaning up the spots. That's annoying.
Well,
That's
no, she won't clean up the spots if he's going to Ann.
No, I'm saying if he didn't go to Ann.
Oh, if he just had me do it?
Yeah, or if he didn't, he said he did it himself the first time, and then if he can't figure out how to fully do it himself and has to keep asking for help, be it from his wife or his kids, that gets old quick. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Someone says beauty tips from Justin. It's true.
Yeah, why not?
That's true. I
think it's good advice all around.
I shaved. Did you ever shave your head? Go completely?
So I have a huge scar on my head.
Okay.
And I also have, I think I've said this before, vitiligo. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Oh, yes, it's Michael Jackson's disease.
Thank you. I've said that on the show.
I also have a Michael Jackson disease, but that's another thing.
A Michael Jackson disease or that
yes,
Michael
well, it's
Jackson?
like a predilection, but we'll get into that some other time.
So I think I've said that on the show. I went to the doctor and they're like, it's a cousin. They said a cousin. They didn't say exactly what that Michael Jackson had it.
It's like skin, like pigment of the skin, right?
Which is scary as fuck because then have you seen on, I think there's like models who have it. And they're featured in
yes.
Yeah, and it's
become kind of like a thing where you can
right. I don't have it where it's taking over my body. I just have like these little dots, and then in that area of my head, no pigment there's no pigment, so the hair grows white. So you could see like a white patch if I didn't technically cover it or whatever. But I also have a huge ass scar, so I look like I don't know. So I can't shave my head fully, basically. And I think I looked like an asshole when I shaved my head.
David in Maryland says Dave's actually an African American. Is that true? Are you actually black?
Yeah, I'm not. But I've seen pictures. I don't want to make fun of it because it's a real thing and it causes some real issues for people. So
yeah, no. The only time I shaved my head, a couple times. The first time I believe I was in like 2nd or 3rd grade.
Okay.
And my parents were just trying to save money or something. So my mom was like, "Oh, I can figure it out." And she forgot to put like the buffer on, or like the 2 or the 3
extension. Yep.
Yeah, so she just did it with the 0.
Yep.
And by accident, she shaved my head, and then we went to like Dave and Buster's, and she said everyone was looking at me like I had cancer.
Oh, jeez.
So
I don't know. So I mean, that's what most kids do. How old were you when that happened? Did you say?
Like 2nd grade, I think.
Yeah, most kids.
It was fine.
Most kids do that in the summer. They shave their head in the summer, let it grow out, and then whatever you do for back to school or whatever. But yeah, good decision either way from Mutt. That was good to see the other day. Any other takeaways from your perspective on Unnamed specifically?
No, I mean, IceCon seemed like a good time.
Yeah.
I did get a DM from someone.
That story about Whitney's kid being left alone there.
It's very funny.
That was just funny.
After like the whole, and especially the whole build up last week of like, you said the ICE people to come after my kid.
Yes.
It was very funny. Well, yeah. I got a DM from someone who will remain anonymous.
Interesting.
Who said, I wore the Whitney family reunion shirt at the IceCon, then sat in front of Dave at the game. He was absolutely miserable during the game, more worried about his dinner reservation being canceled. I cashed out my overbet for pennies and immediately bet the under with all his negative vibes. Mr. Ice looks like his dog got hit by a bus, which I completely believe.
Yes.
I think like when Mr. Ice is losing a bet, he's like, this is the worst day of his life.
Yeah, you see it. Yeah, he does plenty of videos. Yeah.
Tried to talk to Dave about some bets I do have that I've been hitting like crazy. Then I asked to see his brick watch and got yelled at by his security guard. I'm not sure maybe Austin he's talking about.
Why is everyone asking to see the brick watch lately? Like, why is the brick watch coming back into the... Yeah, I would... Yeah. No, not his security. It's that guy. Doesn't that guy travel with him all the time? Really nice guy. I forget his name.
Mike?
Is it Mike? Doesn't he travel with him all the time?
No, I think Mike's the security guard in the New York office.
Oh, okay.
Note to the public, don't ask to see his watch. Continuously getting up and down with people knocking over my drink so they could take a picture with him. Never complained once. Well, you're doing that kind of now.
Yeah.
But left in the second period and went to have some drinks on Broadway. If you would like to hear more, let me know. Whitney family was amazing.
What?
And then he says, never meet your hero. So
what do you think he left? What do you think he left out of that description that you want to hear more about?
Nothing.
Yeah. He's the one who said never. Oh, he's just making fun of the fact that they said never
yeah.
meet
So
your heroes. He's not the one. That's just funny. Was that the elevator thing with Austin said never? That was laugh out loud funny on a name the other day.
Oh,
I think it was Austin was in the elevator. They didn't know that
never,
he knew never meet your heroes.
Never meet your heroes.
That was just funny.
It was funny, but no, I think the other big takeaway is that IceCon and Kirk did say like IceCon is a very Minifan. Like he could see at some point doing something Ice related and something Minifan related.
Yep.
Which would just be like, I feel like. Do you remember like not to play into the joke a little bit, but you remember like middle school dances where like all the boys would hang out on like one side and all the girls would hang out on the other side?
Of course.
I feel like that's how it would be at like the start of a Minifan Ice people thing.
Yeah.
It'd be like all the Ice people hanging out and all the Minifans, and then like slowly as drinks are flowing and then it would be mingling, and then it'd be like, oh, you're an Ice, oh, you gotta listen to Kirk Minahan show. You'd fucking love it. It's like, oh, you just gotta follow his overs aren't hitting, but they're due. I can just imagine how nice that would be.
Do you think that like would it work with a hockey game, or do you think you kind of got to have a happy medium? Like
a hockey game probably with a like beforehand. Like remember when the Dozen was in Boston a couple years ago, and there was I forget what the bar was at.
Yep, I'm forgetting the name of that bar, but yes.
Yeah, someone will say it in the chat.
Monkey something. Cheeky Monkey. Yeah, like a Minifan like pregame. Like the pregame is kind of like Kirk would do like, I'm not saying Kirk should do this or anything or suggesting that, but I'm just saying like I feel like that's how it would go, because then you would have to have some sort of hockey game as well for the Ice people to go. Yeah, I was wondering if there's I don't know, are Minifans everybody's more football in today's world. So do you marry the two and you meet in the middle with everybody likes football, so you do it at like a football game instead of going to a hockey game, you know? Hockey's a little bit more of a niche sport that there's...
Well, that's the whole point of Mr. Ice, though.
Yes, but you could still bet overs of something in other, like another sporting event forms. I still think a hockey event is a good time for everybody.
But yeah, anyway, but the Ice people would be like, well,
the Minifans are just coming out of nowhere. We're just forcing the Minifans then to like hockey.
Well, they don't have. Well, then you're forcing the Ice people to like. You come to like a compromise. You're not gonna go to like a baseball game.
But you're saying the compromise has to involve hockey. That's not much of a compromise for Minifans.
No, I think if you're doing a Minifan Ice people hangout, why is he called?
It's not that big of a deal. A hockey game's still a good time. I think it's the right play to go to a hockey game.
Yeah, and
I totally agree with. I know they're called Ice people. I know, and I agree with Elio. It needs. Like Columbus is, it was Kirk who said this. Columbus is a great fit for something like that. Like go to a weird spot versus the
like Kirk said,
yeah,
it would be great to go to Nashville where it's an up and coming city, but
yeah,
Columbus or like Arizona last year, like some kind of It's tough because obviously they're like a great place would be like Edmonton.
Oh yeah, go to Calgary, like freezing fucking cold,
like Ottawa.
Yeah,
like. Someone in the chat says, when are you getting this new chair for Kirk that sponsored the show? We reached out to them and they'll be sending one soon. So that's exciting.
I want to look at a picture of it. We can absolutely replace it with his. It's not one of those high ones, right? Like this one goes high. So as long as it's low, it will work for Kirk to use.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will. I'll check it out. But I didn't know it was that expensive. That's great. That's going to be a quality chair right there. That's fantastic.
This is kind of a... need to have a Mutt con where people just sit in Mutt's basement and watch the Kentucky Derby. Yeah, I guess it could be like a trio, like the Mutt Stack.
Yep.
It should be the Ice Minifan event sponsored by Mutt Stack.
That's fantastic. By the way, are we gonna allow, or is Kirk gonna allow Tim and Canton to take the chair to go with the desk for the Minifan Hall of Fame or museum or whatever is going to end up happening there?
Not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping to use that chair back here instead of the one I broke.
You said that yesterday, but it won't work. It needs to like be elevated.
That elevates a little bit more than that.
No, it does not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe I mean we'll allow. I think Kirk. Yeah, sure. I think Kirk would let Tim take it. I don't know yet.
All right. What else? Anything else from my name before we move on? I don't think so. You're not a Karen Reediac, but that in the Karen Reed world blew up. Is the fact that somebody was there, a witness was there. Nobody knows if it's Tristan, Colin, or Ryan Nagel. That's being debated. And then that guy, a bunch of people tagged me in it, tagged the show in it. The lawyer who in my opinion has been the best coverage of this case, very fair. So if you're interested in it, he's the guy. He was very interested in Kirk's take, Dave's take, and Ryan's take on that case. There's not much to really mention with it. He just did a call out to the fact of how they stood on it, and that's all. But,
yes.
All right. What else do you want to touch on? Do you want to touch on the Mr. Jerry video from Quigs yesterday now?
Yes, that was very funny.
It was very funny, if you want to pull that up. But obviously, Jersey Jerry is doing the Mr. Jerry series, and we got like logos in the past or whatever, but Quigs put out a video of some audio last night of them kind of rehearsing or whatever, putting together one of the first episodes.
It says Mr. Jerry Outer Space episode recording was a clash of the stars in the studio.
Some nights, the moon is brighter than others. Do you want to know why? Just like the brightest is, let's just do like the brightest is the full moon because it's the biggest. Why they get different shapes?
Yeah.
Because the sun covers it, no?
No, the moon's light is the sun.
Wait, what? No. That's a fake news there.
The moon has no light.
What are you talking about?
The moon's a rock that the light you get from it is the sun. It's like a mirror.
Oh, really? Yeah. So the sun's behind it or in front of it? The sun's in front of the moon. Did you know the sun gives us light during the day, but when the sun goes to bed, it turns dark outside? That was not good.
No, that I just...
Yeah.
That's just so factually incorrect.
Quigs is great. Quigs is great.
It's awesome because you remember that Quigs is a fucking what is he, like a NASA scientist or whatever?
Yes. Oh yeah. Like those videos. What was the
Jeffy Lowe videos where it's the AI?
The AI, and then also just like completely out of the minifan world though. When he does those sped up videos of him putting together the gambling show that he does, whichever one is.
Yeah,
the guy's insanely fucking talented.
It's very talented.
Insanely talented.
But I don't know. I just think I think Jersey Jerry should just be like, there shouldn't be someone there. This is where like you get in a conundrum because it's like, well, if you want it to be an actual kids show where like if a parent sees it and goes like, well, this just is wrong. Like he's just speaking like what he thinks and it's completely wrong. Or do you want it to be like it's Mr. Jerry? Mr. Jerry's explaining how he believes the sun and the moon work.
Yes,
and it's more like a children's show, but it's a parody of itself.
This would be, and he's probably done it in his head. Like this is hours of thinking of the right approach for that type of show. Because I was saying to you, I would if it was factual information. It has to be factual information first and foremost. So get the facts right. But I would watch that with my kids because I would think Jersey Jerry is funny and I'm already a fan of his, basically.
Yes.
And so my kid doesn't know the difference between Mr. Jerry and Miss Rachel or whatever the fuck her name is. So I would get entertainment. It would make watching those shows enjoyable for me and
that's
also my kid because it just... But in terms of the broad appeal, I have no idea. But I guess if he's just doing it the right way and giving the right facts... It satisfies both.
Yes.
So it probably I do like the idea.
Well, like what is he trying to go for? Does it like organically just like adults will be like, oh, this is entertaining because I know who Jersey Jerry is.
Yep.
Or does he like try to fit things in for the adults, which like I think that can lead down a slippery slope where things aren't great.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It could be a situation where that is the appeal, is that it's Jerry first. People come because they know Jersey Jerry.
Well, yeah, I mean,
and this is a product offering from him, and he also does other things. But if this like took over his world and he was only Mr. Jerry, it's weird to think that new people would come in, new adults would come in and not know him as Jersey Jerry from Barstool.
Yes. I would recommend, not that I should be giving out recommendations for this, but like maybe the parents watch the first episode of Jersey Jerry before they watch it, before they like just put it on for their kids.
Well, but also if he's putting it and if if he puts it in the kid category, or if it says like it's content for, how does that work on YouTube?
For children.
Like when you upload a video, it has to say for children.
Well, you like click a box.
Yep.
And then like certain things aren't allowed, like you can't comment on it.
Because then it can show up on YouTube Kids, right?
Yes.
Which YouTube Kids is, it's annoying. But
YouTube
I can't
Kids
imagine.
is not as good as YouTube.
It's not even close. But I can't imagine my kids putting on YouTube Kids and all of a sudden Jersey Jerry showing up. That would be fucking hysterical.
It would be funny. People said, Patrick said in the chat, people forget Blippi defecated on a guy.
Nobody forgets Blippi did that.
I feel like that's brought up now more than
10 times on this show we brought that up.
Yes.
Yeah. Nobody forgets, but you're right. Like, but it doesn't seem like that would matter. That Jersey Jerry. It's confusing because we think that's what he's going for. That he wants the adults to know that he's kind of a crazy person outside of it, and this is a product offering that's meant to be humorous for them, but still works as educational content for kids.
Yes,
I think so. I don't know. I think you got a hit on your hands either way. He'll figure it out somehow, but I think he's got a hit on his hands. I'm trying to think if we missed any Minifan stuff before we go on. The show the other night, the Minifan Network show.
Yep.
Menners hosted. There was Ted Sellers could not make it.
Yes,
and I think that was because just work and he couldn't listen to the show that Kirk was on, so it didn't make sense. Rational.
Yep.
Kevin from Bristol was on with him. Kane filled in, and then Joe the Pizza Guy. Is he Pizza? It's Joe the Pizza Guy, not Pizza Joe, right?
I don't think he has a formal title.
It's Joe the Pizza Guy.
I think Joe the Pizza Guy.
I'm gonna say Joe the Pizza Guy. He produced the show. I thought he did a great job. Yeah, it was
good.
Yeah, if you're trying to compare the two when they had fill-in producers between Quinlan and Joe the Pizza Guy, it might have been a wash. What do you think? Act like Brando and give a grading there.
I think Quinlan did a great job. I don't think Joe did a bad job, but I think Quinlan just knows like what he's doing a little bit more, which isn't like a knock at Joe. I think it was fine, but like I do like the idea of just the rotating panel. I think Coleman's up next.
I think did he say Jake?
Yeah, and then I think it's either Jake or Coleman are up next.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, but I thought that show was good. They touched on Kirk doing the producer show. Trying to think of what else. They hit the Brando stuff. We talked about just Menners and Brando the other day, so we don't need to rehash.
I feel like every couple months there's a big like, the network people hate the people running the network, and then it's like, well, not really to the people.
I don't really understand it though. I didn't get not in a bad way. I didn't get Robbie V's complaints. So who is he mad at? Is he just mad at Menners?
He's mad at Menners,
or is he mad at all the content creators on there?
I think he's mad at Menners for like shit talking certain shows.
Yep.
And not being supportive, but I don't know. That's like who Menners is. So
yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's either way. It's not that big of a deal. The only takeaway is just that he's still that Brando's still pissed off at Menners, and we'll see if they can reclaim whatever relationship they had before that. But anything like out of this world said on that show that you thought needs covering?
No, not
I thought
really.
They kind of it was a good conversation though. I enjoyed it.
Good.
Kevin from Bristol was good on it. I think was it Duck has Campy's throat recovered after M&S. I thought he was good on it. Made some strong points. So either way. Robbie V just waving his arms. I don't agree with that, Kane. He's got his opinion. He doesn't want to do it.
That's Kane just defending his guy.
Yeah, I got you.
So.
All right. Let's see here. We got the car picture that Chaps posted last night. I'm sure you were tagged a million times.
Yeah, I was tagged in a million times, and I just don't want I don't know if it was up to Chaps I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here. Kirk wouldn't be here. So I don't know. I don't feel like giving him any tip of the cap.
Yeah,
it's kind of don't like him.
Yeah,
so
that was a dirty car.
It was a very dirty car.
Yeah.
As someone who's had a dirty car before.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I mean, Chaps is just looking for something to do. But don't like Chaps.
This is just like it's an internet thing, a debate going on. I did see a lot of Minifans debating this on the timeline yesterday. Not gonna lie, that Naked Gun trailer, I liked it.
I thought it was very funny.
Yeah.
I thought it was very funny. Yes, I brought it up to you before the show.
Yeah.
I think Liam Neeson is going to kill it in the role. I think he's the perfect, serious,
I like that angle of, I don't know a lot about Liam Neeson. I don't know if he's ever been covered with Mike or whoever, but the comedian was a part of I think he's a comedian. I always thought he was, but he's a part of the first ones. Now going the serious guy trying to make jokes. I like that. That's kind of like an old school thing, almost like Arnold Schwarzenegger doing, comedies back in the day or something like that.
Yes.
Right?
And Liam Neeson is known for a very serious character.
Taken guy. Yeah.
Taken. I mean, Qui-Gon Jinn, very serious character. Obi-Wan Kenobi at one point says to him, he's like, "You're right about one thing, Master. The negotiations were short." A little cheeky. And Liam Neeson, Qui-Gon just gives him a look cut the shit. Obviously, Schindler's List wasn't the funniest movie in the world. But like I do think like, do you remember him in Ted?
I know he was in Ted. I don't remember.
He comes out and Ted's in the grocery store and he's like, "Now these tricks are specifically for just children."
Yes.
And it's very funny because he's.
Oh, that makes sense. So that's the McFarlane angle.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm excited to see it. I think it could be very funny. There's a thing at the end where they're all like crying, saying how much they. I think Liam Neeson's playing the original main character's son.
Yep.
And everyone's crying, being like, "Oh, miss you, Dad, miss you, Dad." And then the guy who's, I believe, is going to be playing OJ's son looks at a picture of OJ and is like, "Yeah, no, I'm not going to say it."
That's just good.
So it's just, good. It looks like comedies are back.
Right.
Baby.
That's what I was just going to say.
When was the last time we had like a funny
We
movie?
always talk about this. What was the last movie that was a good comedy that was released? I forget the one Mike always references.
And like a good, like just a dumb comedy too. Not like a comedy where it's like, there are funny parts to it, but it's deep at some points.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't even think I've had a show that's been like overly funny that I've watched recently. People are saying, is it a I'm assuming the Seth Rogen show is a comedy, right? It has to be. The one where he's like mocking Hollywood studios.
I don't know, but Seth Rogen kind of sucks now.
Oh, you don't like Seth Rogen?
Yeah, he kind of.
I thought I was going to ask you if that's a show you would watch. The Studios.
No, the only Seth Rogen show I currently watch is Invincible.
Okay.
It's a good show.
I think people like that, right? I haven't seen that.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. You did go to the movies though, and you were telling me you saw this doc about people who like lived in the Providence Place Mall.
Yeah, it was an interesting like small time documentary. It's called like The Apartment in the Mall.
Yeah.
Or the mall apartment, and these people they built an apartment in the Providence Place Mall, and they like had people live in it for like 4 years. They like went just through like the crevices, and they found like an area that was only for like
So first question,
for during construction.
First question: how did you end up seeing? I haven't heard that this existed. How did you end up seeing it? Somebody told you about it?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, and it's just does it have a wide release? It doesn't have a wide release.
I don't think it. I think it was just playing in like the showcases around this area
because it makes sense for Providence.
Because it was playing in Providence, and I saw it was playing in North Attleboro.
Okay,
so
that makes sense.
Yeah, it was a decent little cute documentary about like art and things like that. There were some parts where I was like, when I'm like throwing up. Like there's one part where they have like a security guard because they documented the whole thing because there were a bunch of artists, and there was one part where like security guards, because they were moving like cinder blocks in, and they were like, the security guards like asked us what we were doing, and we said, "Oh, our car broke down, we got to move it to a truck," and they were like, "Fine." And then they go on like a minute rampage, and they're like, "I'm so thankful for white privilege."
Oh, God.
And I was like, okay, you definitely weren't thinking this in 2003 or whatever.
Yeah.
But there were some touching moments too. They seemed like genuinely nice people. There was a whole 9/11 segment I wasn't expecting.
Yep.
And you just learn a lot about.
That's just. I didn't know that was happening. Kevin from Bristol in the chat just said he knew about that apartment a long time before it was found. I had no idea that was happening. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just like an hour and a half long.
Yeah,
but it's if you have to see it. Jesse Eisenberg like produced it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh okay.
So.
Yeah. When that hits streaming, I'll definitely watch that one. Let's see. Anything else do we want? I did like that tweet that Kirk retweeted from Displaced Bostonian of just how Albert Breer tweeted. He basically tweeted like he had news before the news of Joe Milton. Did you see that tweet that Kirk?
Yeah, where after Joe Milton got traded, he was like, "Oh yeah, no, I heard that this was happening."
Right, he knew it was. It's just to that guy's point. It was peak Albert Breer. These guys never ever put out real news before the Adam Schefters of the world. They have no sources, so that was a good tweet. The Bruce Springsteen 7 albums was announced, just like Kirk said.
Yep.
So that's.
I saw Jeff tweet about that a couple times. He's pumped for that. That's just almost like overwhelming. I kind of wish, like, I'm not a Bruce fan, or like I know I'm kind of a tramp, but not a huge tramp. But like 7, if Blink like just released 7 albums at once, I don't know what I'd do.
Yeah,
I'd be like, well, where do I start? Like, what if I really like one album? I want to keep listening to it. Do I just put the other albums off? Do I listen to them all?
I only saw the basic announcement of it, but he's just like dropping it on Spotify like everything else, or is he like trying to sell it as it's? As almost like an anthology where you have to buy all 7 at one time, and you have to get hard copies of it for a certain amount of time before it gets released to the Spotifys of the world. Or
I do have some questions too. Like, does he own these? Because he sold his.
I think he does. He must.
Well, no, he sold his like music rights. Remember?
Right.
So like, does that include like future releases too? I don't know. It probably does.
Good question. I'm sure like the Wall Street Journal probably has like a big article on this with the whole breakdown of it. So yeah, I don't want to fuck that up. The only other thing that I just found interesting or funny was that Jack Mack video about Harry Sisson coming in, and then basically that his PR firm nixed the whole thing and wouldn't let him release it. And to his credit, he gave them their word that he would send it to them before, and then they basically asked not to release it for a certain period of time. They don't have a contract or anything, so he could be an asshole if he wanted to be.
So
as long as they're not assholes again to him, I would assume we don't see it. But
yeah. So for those of you that don't know, Harry Sisson is like a young Gen Z left-wing TikTok influencer who makes videos like MAGA is pissed.
Yes.
Cory Booker just talked for 25 hours, and he's very, very pro DNC. He's been accused of being like a DNC plant, being paid by the DNC. He says he's not. He says all of this stuff is like on his own, but like yes, he does take like he has agencies that pay him and things like that, and the agencies are funded by the DNC. So blah blah blah. So anyway, so there was this whole controversy last week about like how there wasn't any like harassment. He was just kind of being shitty to girls. Like,
yeah, he was
being a womanizer.
And he was using his social world to like DM girls and then like fuck them over or whatever, or like keep them hanging and stuff like that.
So there were jokes being made. Also like one of the big right wingers would attack him and call him gay and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So he reaches out to Jack Mac. Jack Mac made a video about it. One of his, I forget what it's called. Unpack with Jack Mac.
Yep.
And Harry's like, hey, I'm in New York. If you want to make a video with me, you know, kind of poking fun at it, which I think would have been a great move. We always say like, hey, you know, if they embrace it, like, because this wasn't like this wasn't like sexual assault or anything. It was just him pretty much being, you know, just
it was like an internet thing. It was like it was a bubble. Yeah.
You know, make some jokes, poking fun. I think it would have looked great. I think it would have came off to a lot of the haters that don't like him. It would have came off great. But he comes in and he brought like like you said, his agency along, and they were like, yeah, you can't say this, can't say that, blah, blah, blah. So they made a whole video where they sat down for like 5 minutes, and Jack Mac like sent it over for them to release. And they said, yeah, we'll hold off in a couple of weeks because it doesn't look great. So it's just a bad look all around.
Yeah. If I'm that agency, I would just stop the communication at that point, because if he gets to the point where I guess it doesn't matter, because even Jack said the video is harmless. So it's not like even releasing it gets one over on the agency or Harry. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not that big of a deal. He even admitted, you know, he thought it was funny, but it's not over the top funny. And
yeah, people think like, oh my God, if they're you know saying it can't be released, it must be like this whole it must be like, oh, over the top, crazy, so funny. And he's like, no, it's just a kind of a dumb, stupid video.
Right. So,
speaking of things that didn't get released, did you see that there was a couple of years ago, there was
hold on. One of these guys, why are these guys so afraid to say Harry Sisson sucks? His videos, I don't enjoy his videos. Harry Sisson to me sucks, but I actually respect that he was willing to make fun of his suckery with Jack Mac is the point. Is like, that's not a bad thing that he went in to go like get made fun of or poke fun at certain situations. I don't like his content. I do think he sucks, but like it's not.
I think he's like
it's irrelevant.
I find him in the world of DNC influencers. I find them all funny because they're all just like very like, oh, MAGA got crushed. Like I like not purposely funny. Yeah, he sucks, but it's also like, I don't know. It's funny that there's this kid who's like 21 years old and all he cares about is like political shit. And someone will ask him, be like, man, do you have any hobbies and stuff like that? And he's like, no time for hobbies. Yeah. America's at war.
But he's just doing what works too. He took off because of the political shit on TikTok. So he's going to keep doing that no matter what. He's going to keep having his angle. So I don't know. It's just, I don't get it on my feed. So I don't see that much of him. So, but I don't want any part of it. But all right, what else do we have to hit on before? I think we did.
I saw a tweet the other day or yesterday from Mr. D-Lo. Talking about how he cooks and bakes sometimes. And then he put out a picture of a chocolate cake.
Yes.
And it just looks delicious. I just wanted to say, Jeff, that chocolate cake looks absolutely delicious. I'm normally not a big cake guy, believe it or not.
Yep.
Well, I like cake. I don't like frosting very much. But, I don't know if it was just like horny for cake or something like that. But, Jeff, I'll eat your cake any day of the week.
It looked professional to me, if you're asking me. To your point, I'm not a big cake guy myself. The only thing was the what do you call them in the topping of it? Why am I just blanking on the word of the topping of it?
Sprinkles.
He's got the sprinkles. You don't typically see sprinkles in a bakery anymore like that. Do you? I see it on the bottom of cakes. I don't see them on the top the way you pulled that off.
I guess when my mom would make me a cake or I made a cake for Mr. Guptill, it would have
at home.
Sprinkles on it.
Different. At home, you're using sprinkles and stuff like that.
Yes,
yeah, I'm talking about the professionalism.
But it looked professional. It didn't look like they were just like thrown on there.
Jimmy's was the thing as well.
Jimmy's. Bubba calls them Jimmy's. I think for some reason, that's like a racial thing.
Oh, I feel like I remember hearing that as well.
Hearing people like, you can't call them Jimmys.
I have a vague recollection of that as well. Yes.
But yeah, I think that was an old school Boston saying. Bubba has a couple of those. Like he calls soda, he calls it tonic.
Oh.
He calls sandwiches. Would you like to guess what he calls them? Like a sub sandwich or something?
No, what's he call them?
He calls them Spuckies.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Never heard of that one before.
It's great. It's I love it. Whenever he's like, you want a Spucky? I'm like, Bubba.
I was going to say in that tweet, I do like to shout out to Paul Hollywood because I don't watch it as much anymore, but pre-kids, when you're kind of hungover a little bit on a Saturday afternoon, there was nothing better than the Great American. What is it? Great British Baking Show, I think is the name of it.
Never watched it.
Oh, Paul Hollywood is a delight.
The only food shows I would ever watch were like Man vs. Food, where I
never liked that one.
Oh, it's great. Just the guy's just like, I'm gonna eat 3 racks of ribs, 4 burgers, and I'm just like.
I had a phase where those Food Network shows just dominated by television consumption, but I'm off that phase. Guy's Grocery Games was fantastic for a while. Even his burger thing was fantastic for a while. There was just a ton of good ones, but British Baking Show, whatever it's called, I haven't watched in a while. Just phenomenal TV. Phenomenal. Yep. So, all right. I think we hit it all. Any studio updates we need to give at the moment?
No, not
desk
really.
in. We said we were waiting on the desk. The desk is in.
Walls all good.
Walls
just gotta
painted.
Start putting stuff up.
There's stuff that needs to go up on
chair.
the walls. Chairs.
Next chair.
Chairs. I think we talked on this one. Kirk didn't seem to like them. Mutt really liked them.
Yeah, Mutt was like the biggest fan of it.
Yeah, Mutt was a fan. I think that's it. So I guess we're good. Unless you guys, I probably should have put in the chat if you guys have any questions, but nobody had any questions about the producer show or anything like that. So, all right, we are good. We should, I assume we'll be back on Monday, Justin?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, because I won't be here on Monday.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to do it remote? Oh, you can't do it remote, so.
And we'll be doing stuff that I don't know. So I guess, hopefully Tuesday?
Yeah,
Try
sure.
to do Tuesday.
Whatever works for you.
Yeah, we'll figure it out and go from there. All right, thanks for watching. See you.
Perfect. Remember, it's gonna be. I'm gonna hit end stream.
What's the day? By the way, what's today's day? That's a gimmick of yours. You didn't get to say the day.
What do you mean?
You even do that by text.
What did I?
Every show you're usually like, hey, it's nice people's. I don't know.
When have I do that? Oh, the thing I sent you the other day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Happy I forget what it was.
I think it was Happy Trans Day of Visibility or something.
What
holiday is today?
How did you see that it was Happy Trans Day of Visibility? You look up what holiday it is every day?
No, I saw on Facebook someone with what's it called? A hysterectomy?
Yes.
When they get their tits, their chest.
Sure, I forget too, but
yeah. Yeah, I saw someone posting about that. So I said, "Oh, this is good. I gotta let my good friend Dave know."
Pop on Facebook every now and
then.
Take a peek.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. It's National Hug a News Person Day, National Walk Around Things Day, and International Carrot Day.
National Hug a News Person's Day.
Yeah, that's just should not be a thing.
Yeah.
There should not be National Hug a Blank Anyone Day.
Should we just show up to Channel 5 right now and just say, hey, it's National Hug a News Person's Day and see if we can get a hug?
No. We shouldn't.
There's a Channel 5 person who's a big minifan. So.
Okay, well, I feel like
she'd give us a hug.
Can I have a... Oh, it's a she too?
Yeah.
I'm just going up. Can I have a hug?
Yeah, but if there's a purpose. It's National Hug a News Person's Day.
It's national. Oh, it's national. It's...
Yeah. All right.
Oh.
Do the thing. All right. Do the thing we talked about, the tech thing, where now we're just going to go to a black screen, but we'll be done. And I'll keep talking, but hopefully I won't say anything bad, but hopefully it's not.
Okay. 3, 2,
1.